In this video, we're going to learn to use the advanced Auto Digitizing tool, and that is found up here at the top of your workspace under the wizard hat. When you click on the wizard hat, there are two options, and we made a previous video for the Auto Digitizing wizard where we created this dragonfly. And so this time, let's use the purple wizard hat for the advanced Auto Digitizing wizard, and it's similar but gives a few more options basically. And so the first step is the same. Select an image, and you can browse to any location of your computer to browse an image. These are images that would have come, with the program. If I click on my image and choose open, it starts the process. And essentially the first step is about the colors and the color reduction. It's showing you the colors that it's sort of found in the design, and you can remove a color if you don't want it. You select it, choose remove. You could combine colors, so if you wanted, for example, the yellow and the pink to be the same color, I can hold my control key and select both yellow and pink are selected. And now whatever I selected first will become the kind of color that's kept. And it's over here that I can click the sort of third option for merge colors, and that will kind of merge those two colors together. And then if you want to add your yellow back, just click on the add color and it'll allow you to kind of select that color that you took out and put it back in again. But this is a stage where you can interact with the colors of the design. And when you're happy with the colors, you say next. Now it shows you kind of what it's going to look like, and you have a slider for tolerance, less and more. This is usually for kind of a little bit more complicated graphics. If you're not picking up all of the detail that you want, you can try a little bit less or a little bit more in terms of the kind of sort of tolerance of the vectorization. And when you're happy with the way it looks in here, you can simply click next. And now you get to interact with the colors, and this is different from the sort of regular Auto Digitizing wizard, because now you can see, for example, if I click here on the blue area, I can either have it highlight that selection or isolate that selection, and both. So if I tell it to not isolate, I can just click here to select kind of like the different parts of the design, and whatever I click on becomes highlighted in the sort of list over here. So really all the pieces of the design are listed, and the benefit of this is, first of all, if I want to have white inside of the eye but not have the white around the outside, I can easily select that section and click on the X to remove that part from the design. And so when I click on this blue area, if I can't click on it in over here, I can also click on it in here to select the different areas, and so I can remove that. And so now it shows two areas of white left, and yet I'm thinking, well, I can see that one, right? That's the eye. I want that for sure. I'm not sure what this is. So that's where I can choose the isolate selection, and it's highlighted, and I can kind of sense that there's a small piece of white here that must have been kind of like underneath the tail feathers or something. And so one way or another, I don't think we need that. So I can just remove that from the design. And then what about the rest of the parts? Like, for example, if I click on the yellow, it shows me that this is his leg, and it's set to be a fill stitch. But if I click on the button beside it, I could make it a run stitch or a satin stitch. And so run stitch legs might be kind of cool. We could go, click on that leg and click on this leg and set them to be run stitches. But then for the beak, maybe instead of a fill, you want to use, a steel or a satin stitch. And so it gives you the choice, and you can interact with the design as it's being created, basically. And so once you're happy with all of your, styles of embroidery and what's included, then you say next. And it's now showing you kind of what the embroidery is going to look like. And we have a couple of options left, and excuse me, one of them is to add an outline. And so notice if I click add outline that there's an outline that gets added all the way around the design. And the other thing we could add here is a border. So if I click, it'll put a border around the design. If you don't like the color of the border or the color of the outline, you can choose replace and then come into your color palette and choose another color to import, to be that border or that outline. So if you don't want an outline or you don't want a border, you can uncheck these things, but when you're happy, you say next. And so now it's showing us kind of what the embroidery design is going to look like. If you decide you don't want the border, you can go back. If you decide you didn't like the run stitch legs, you can go back. You can, select those legs and change them to be satin stitch legs, and go forward and see what that would look like. And essentially, when you're happy and you've made the design and everything's exactly how you want it, you click finish and it will have created kind of a cool little embroidery design. And so that is the advanced Auto Digitizing tool, and it's just like anything else. Once advanced Auto Digitizing tool is done making it, if you want to select these areas and say, it looks like it's all grouped together, so I can just click ungroup. Maybe I did want that to be a run stitch, and I can still change it back. So that's the kind of cool thing about it. Even though we didn't auto digitize it, once the software has auto digitized, we can interact with its size and its parts and make further edits. And so that's a little video about how to use the advanced auto digitizing tool.